Hey everybody, welcome back. I just wanted to pop on and go ahead and get us started for our summer soap challenge. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jennifer Franklin and I'm the admin over on Melt and Pour Soapmaking 101 on Facebook. And we're getting ready to get started with our summer soap challenge, and the theme for the challenge is beverages. So it's going to be any cool summery drink that you can think of. We want to turn it into our take on a soap from that beverage. So the one that I chose to do today for the first demonstration is going to be sweet tea. I decided to go ahead and make that in the bar mold because I feel like this is a mold that a lot of us have starting out, so I wanted to be able to demonstrate something in this mold. And then I'll probably do some in the loaf mold, and to be quite honest, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So this is the first one, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to melt down 16 ounces of clear Melt and Pour soap, and I use the detergent-free Melt and Pours from Crafter's Choice from Wholesale Supplies Plus. So I'm going to melt this down, and then I'll be right back to get us going. Okay, our soap is melted, and it's at 137. So I'm going to go ahead and add the color and the fragrance, and we'll get it in the mold. So the color that I chose for it, since it's a sweet tea theme, I went with something that kind of had a bit of a bronzy tea color. This one's called Copper Penny, and it's one of the little 5-gram bags from Nurture Soap. I really like to get these to try out new colors or for small projects because, you know, it's a good way to try it out, and it's pretty inexpensive. So I'm just using these little micro scoops. I'm just going to put a few scoops in until I get to the color that I like. I am going to put embeds in this that look like ice cubes. So I do like for this to be a little bit on the darker side because I like the embeds all the way through the soap. So if you're just going to put them on top, you could maybe make, you know, your base color a little bit lighter. But I like the way it looks, just kind of like a visual interest when you're using it. And, you know, as the bar goes down, you see those chunks of the clear Melt and Pour inside that I'm going to make, you know, that's kind of like ice. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Just going to keep stirring a little bit. It does have a couple little chunks in there I can see. Some people mix their micas before they put them in. I don't. You can mix it with a little bit of oil, you know, just a teeny bit, or you could mix it with rubbing alcohol and pour it into the soap that way. So I have 16 ounces of Melt and Pour in here, and the fragrance that I'm going to use, I'm actually kind of blending up myself. I bought a sweet tea fragrance last year to use, and it was good. It smelled like sweet tea, but I wanted something maybe a little bit more complex, I guess, than just a plain fragrance. So I'm going to use white tea and pear from Nurture Soap, and I'm going to pair it with Seventh Heaven from Nurture Soap. This one is, of course, it's kind of a fruity tea type scent. And then this one has, I think it kind of smells like lemon pound cake. It has a nice warm lemon fragrance to it, and I thought it might be good together. So I'm gonna do 2 parts of the white tea and pear and 1 of the Seventh Heaven. So I'm going to tear my scale, and I'm just going to use 1% fragrance for mine. I've used these fragrances a bunch before. They hold really, really well in Melt and Pour, so it really doesn't take a lot. So I'm going to have, I have 16 ounces. I do usually measure, unless I'm making bath bombs or something like that, I measure in ounces. So we're going to have 0.16 is what we're looking for 1%. Okay, and the Seventh Heaven. Okay, that's it, 0.16 right on the nose. All right. So we get that all blended together, and then we'll go ahead and pour. It smells really good. It has a nice tea fragrance. You can definitely smell it, but I like that lemon. It smells nice. I have some little lemon embeds for the top, so it should go well. All right, so I hope you guys can see. All right, let me do it this way. So I'm going to fill these about a third of the way. And I'm going to spray it, get any bubbles out, but I'm going to pause and let it get a little bit of a skin on it. I don't want my little ice cubes to sink all the way to the bottom. And if you want them to, if you're making a lemonade soap or something like that, and you want to be able to see the ice all the way through the soap, then by all means let them sink to the bottom. But I wanted them kind of popping up out of the top and not really showing too much through the bottom. So I'm just going to let it get a little bit of a skin, and when I put the embeds in, if it sinks through, that's no big deal. So I'm going to pause, and I'll be back once it has a little skin. Okay, we're back. I did time it. It was about 7 minutes. The soap now has a thin skin on top. It's not sticking to my glove, but when I press on it, I can see the soap underneath it is still very liquid, and it's just got a little bit of a firmness. So I'm going to add the clear Melt and Pour that I've chopped up, just these. And I'm going to spray them with rubbing alcohol and spray each soap with rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to go ahead and add those in. I did not reheat my my soap that I'm using, this part. So it should still be pretty warm, but hopefully not so warm that it melts any of our embeds. I can layer these, in, and then go back and add a few more onto the top to get them to stick up through the top, and it'll be just fine. So however you want to place your embeds. And like I said, I'm using quite a few because I do want it to look like it's a cup full of very cold, sweet Southern iced tea. Alright, let's see. So this has a little bit of a skin on top, but it still feels pretty warm. It's 126. So I'm okay with pouring it at 126. I think that's a good temperature. It won't melt the embeds, and it should adhere nicely. And again, if it punctures through the bottom, it's okay. It's all going to come together. I got this one really full. Okay, so for embeds, I used this little mold I got from Amazon. It came in a 4-pack, I think, and it was the citrus slices, I think strawberries, pineapples, I think, and then there was one other, I think it was watermelons maybe, I can't remember. But anyway, it's small, there's only 6 in there, but I don't fill them all the way full, and just, do it a couple times. It doesn't take any time at all to get several embeds. And for these, this is what they look like whole. And you could paint them, or, even go as far as to do white mica between, something like that to really make them stand out. But for these purposes, I really don't think so. I may go back and dry brush a little bit of mica onto these when they're done, or probably dry brush some glitter on the ice or something like that. But I cut them in half for this, and they're just clear Melt and Pour. They're not scented, and I did color those with Firefly Mica from Nurture Soap. It's one of my favorite yellows. It's very bright and Melt and Pour. And then I used a little bit of white Melt and Pour, and I did some leaves. And for those I did just green Vibrance Mica. And the mold that I got for these, I think, was a fondant mold. I got it on Amazon, but it doesn't make very many at a time. So I kind of wish I had one that, you know, would make more leaves. Some of them have stems, some don't, but I thought that might be cute for a little bit of mint. You could also, if you don't have a mold, fill up one of these cavities, you know, with just a solid color, and maybe take like a what are they? The carrot peeler, potato peeler things, and use that against the side and maybe make a little lemon twist, or, you know, something like that would be fun. So let's see. Yes, I think we can start poking in there. So what I'm going to do now is just the decorative top. So I'm going to spray the few embeds that I have selected for the top and put a little bit of ice in. And I want these to stick out the top. It's a little bit of flooding, but we can go back and fix that once we pull them out of the molds. We'll clean them up. And I want to do a half a lemon and a little bit of mint on each one. And you can stick it in wherever you want to. Just make it where you can get everything in. It's cute. Crooked. I'll try to get a few smaller ones maybe for the top. I think they look a little nicer scale wise. They are so slippery. When you spray them with alcohol, they just want to go everywhere. Started over here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the first two and go ahead and fill in a little bit with the soap. And like I said, we can come right back and clean these up, so if they spill over the top, it's no big deal. Just want to make sure you get it all the way around so that all the embeds are going to be seated nicely. I turned my air conditioner on in here, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's really humid outside, but it's not overly hot, but it just gets so stuffy in here with the humidity. This one has quite a few sticking up out of the top, so I'm only going to put in one or two in this one. It has a little bit of a skin. I'm just going to poke it and get this cube in there. I'm going to try to do these going this way maybe. Alright, I'm just going to pour just a little bit more on these to seal them in. Okay, those other ones are seated pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry, and then when I come back, we will pull them out of the molds, clean them up a little bit. They're already really seated nicely, though. I don't think, because of the large number of embeds that we have inside, I don't think it's going to take them very long to set up. But we'll come back and clean them up a little bit and maybe do a little dry dusting on top, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. But anyway, here's what they look like so far. I hope you guys can see that. It's a little bit of a mess, but it always is. I'm not exactly neat and tidy all the way along the way, but as soon as we get those set up, we'll pull them out, we'll clean them up, and we'll see what they look like. Okay guys, we're back and the soaps are ready. So I'm going to pop those out, and when I take them out, you can see I had some overflow, so I'm just going to trim those up. I just use a knife. I think some people maybe use one of those little carrot peeler things. I use those on my cold processed soaps to trim them up. I don't have a soap beveler, so. Okay. Alright, so there, I'm trying to get the glare so you guys can see a little better. Okay. And the same thing on this one. So there they are, and I think I'm just going to dust them with a little bit of glitter, just kind of like a dry dusting. I don't want to really paint them with mica and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. I think just the dry dusting will be good, just to give it a little shimmer. So for the ice, I selected Mystic Blue. And these are Enviro glitters, and again, these are those little half-gram bags. I bought a sample set of these to try out, and I love them. I use them like on the bath bombs, and to add a little bit of shimmer to the water and that sort of thing, and then to paint with and that sort of thing. So they're really, really nice. They do give sort of a cold look because the shimmer sparkle in them is blue. So I'm just going to do like one little scoop of that and then just dry brush it on the little ice cubes. So I don't know if you can really see, but just a regular, I just got these little brushes at the dollar store and I use them for, you know, bath bombs, whatever. So I'm just going to give it a little dry brush to get a little glitter sparkle. I don't know if you can really see. I'll try to do some photos too and post in the group under the contest posting, but I think you can see a little bit. It's just a nice little icy shimmer on top, and if you get too much, you just dust it off. Just make sure the paintbrush stays as dry as you can and just dust it off. Right, so I'll do all the ice first, and then I'm going to come back and do a little dusting on the lemon. And I might do a little bit of mica on the green leaf. I'm not sure yet. I got some out just in case. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these soaps yet. I only made 4. I did make a couple the other day. I made iced coffee and I made iced tea with a little bit different lemon mold. Just kind of playing around to see what I wanted to do for this video. And so I've got like some random tea soaps and some random coffee soap. I might put those maybe in some little mystery boxes or something for the summer. This will be nice. I do a lot of like birthday boxes and things like that for people, so that would be cute in there. Okay, they're cute. So I think for the lemon slices, I'm going to hit those with some gold dust. I thought about doing a yellow mica, like maybe a darker color than the lemon, just to kind of make it pop a little bit. But I think I'm going to go with the gold instead. I did a little bit of gold on the other tea soaps that I made last week, and I really like the way it looked. This mica, or this glitter, I don't know if you can see, I just got a tiny little scoop, but it is so shimmery. The gold is my favorite. I love that one. So I'm just going to go a little bit along the top, just to give it a little extra shimmer. And again, if you get too much, you can just dust it off until it's where you like it. I know this is kind of hard to see. The lighting is not that great. Sorry about that. I'll see if I can fix the lighting issue. Maybe I'll have to be on the other side away from this window. Okay, and the last one, and again, just along the top of the rind, or the peel, whatever, because the rind is a watermelon, the peel, and then I just did between the little lines of the segments, just to try to give it a little definition. I'm sorry guys, it doesn't look like you can see it that great, but I'll try to get some good photos where you can see the finished product. And so I think I'm going to do a little bit of green. I have Hello Spring, and it's the same color that I used in the white to make the leaves. No, I used the Green Vibrance, I'm sorry. This is a little bit lighter. It matches what the Green Vibrance looks like in the leaves with the white. So I just used a skinny little brush and just a tiny bit of mica, and I just want to go right along the edges of the leaf. And again, I'm just adding a little bit of definition. I just wanted to make it pop a little bit in the photos, and a little bit of shimmer. last one. Okay. So those I'll let dry, and then I'll grab some photos and I'll post those under the thread for everybody to post on. And I wanted to show you a couple of the other ones that I did. I kind of did a dry run of the sweet tea last week at home, and this is what I used. I used more like a lemon wedge versus like the little slice. It was cute. And I used those same colors. This one's a little bit darker, and that's why I try to kind of lighten it up a little bit so you can kind of see the ice through there just a little bit better. So, and then I did do iced coffee. So, okay guys, so that's it, and I will get us an official thread posted, and thanks for hanging in there with me. And again, I'm sorry about the lighting. I'll try to fix that for next time. But I can't wait to see what you guys post, and I'm looking forward to it. Happy soaping!